Do yourself a favor and buy in bulk from Alpine Touch. Alpine Touch is a Montana institution. Montana's special spice has become world famous for its unrivaled all-purpose seasoning. Next time you need premium blends, herbs, and spices, buy at wholesale prices from Alpine Touch. Cinnamon, garlic powder, pepper, and much more are all available at alpinetouch.com. While you're shopping, get yourself some barbecue sauce or a bag of jerky. Shop alpinetouch.com. Alpine Touch.
Bobcats win again.
So, fifth quarter at the R Bar?
Dude, I can crush a burger right now.
Can you guys pick it up? I'm thirsty back here. Guys, what's up? Hop on in. Fifth quarter's this way.
Oh, new R Bar merch.
Yo, what's the fifth quarter?
They have food, drinks, and giveaways after every home game.
And these sweet Bobcat cups.
Oh, I'm in.
Take me to the R Bar.
Join us at the Rocking R Bar after every home game for the fifth quarter.
Let's celebrate the spirit of blue and gold.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started as we'll visit with Montana State. First off, we'll have Coach make an opening comment. Then we'll have questions for our two student athletes. Joining us tonight is Tommy Mellott, and also joining us is Paul Brott. What we'll do is we'll have Coach with opening comments. Then we'll have questions for the student athletes. And then we'll release the student athletes, and then we'll visit with Coach for a few more minutes. So, Coach, opening comments.
Well, just hard-fought battle. Obviously, want to congratulate North Dakota State. The way the game played out, they played better than us, and ultimately dug ourselves a big hole. Guys, fought like crazy in that second half. Cut it to 3 a couple different times. One time up 3 or down 3 with the ball, and it just didn't happen for us. And I think we came here with one expectation, and I know it stings a lot for these guys, for these seniors in particular, that have laid such a foundation for our program. They've certainly built upon the seniors before them, but the success they've had and been through a lot of ups and some downs, and obviously this is a low point. You end up rattling off 15 victories and you can't finish it off. It certainly isn't where how we wanted this day to end, but I know the program is much better for their efforts, and I know they're, much better off for being part of Montana State's football program. So I can't thank them enough, and we're going to miss them. I know that.
Thank you, Coach. So we'll open it up for questions first for our student athletes. If you could, as we did on Saturday, please name an affiliation, and then we'll get a microphone to you. So we'll start off right here, front row on the right.
Tommy, Braden Shaw, Bozeman Daily Chronicle. Tommy, I was just curious if you could talk about what changed for you guys offensively in the second half as you kind of started making that comeback.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say this is Paul Brott, defensive tackle starter for us. Paul Brott, he's a stud. I appreciated playing for him. I just want to make sure everyone knows that. Mispronounced his name earlier, I suppose. But I don't know. I think that our offense was a little bit stagnant there from the first half, unfortunately, and we came up short because of it. But Coach Walker got us going. Players are making plays. Guys kept fighting. It's very easy, 21-3 to quit in a national championship game. It is. And we came back out there, and we had a group of guys that fought for this team, fought for the seniors, and just came up short.
We'll keep it over on the right-hand side, front row.
Victor Flores, 46 Empty Sports. Paul, was there anything you kind of saw up front for their offensive line that they were able to have some success, both passing and rushing, especially at the end there?
No, what I have to say is that they just outplayed us in the first half there. In the second half, I felt like we were coming back, playing harder, but they just outplayed us. They had better technique. Cam was able to escape the pocket and go for some big runs, and so we just got to get better at that.
We'll keep it over right-hand side, front row. Go ahead, please.
Parker Cotton with the Bozeman Daily Chronicle. Tommy and Paul, for both of you. Certainly not the the ending that you hope for, but 15 wins still speaks to a lot of success. Can you take us through, now that the ride is over, what the journey of this season has been like and how special it will remain to you?
Yeah, I'll go first. Just a summation of an entire career playing for Montana State. It's just been a pleasure and an honor, and something that has grown me into the man I am today. And I wouldn't certainly trade it for anything. The early mornings, late nights, all the work. So many guys that I've met, that I've built relationships that I'll hold forever. Certainly this year was very special. So, hats off to North Dakota State for beating us today. Unfortunately, I think the better team lost. So, but that's how it goes. Sometimes it's football. That's why they play the game. So, we just we didn't play the right game. But God is good in all circumstances, and I trust that.
Okay, we'll go keep it on the right, third row. Go ahead, please.
Grace Lawrence, MTN. Paul, what have these seniors meant to you? Just,
Coming in here as a freshman and being here with these guys, they took me under my wing right away. I mean, as soon as I committed, Tommy DM'd me on Twitter saying how happy he was for me to be here. And these guys have led this place to just a higher standard. Each year, these class of seniors have just risen it to a higher standard. But I can't speak to enough of how much they led this team, how much they've meant to me and these younger guys. I mean, Tommy set new standards all the time. Brody's one of my best friends. Same with Khabib, Blake Schmidt. I mean, they've done so much for me in this program. It's going to be different without them there.
We'll come over here to the left-hand side. Go ahead, please.
Colter Nuanez, Skyline Sports. Paul, could you talk about the adjustments you guys made against the quarterback run game in the second half, and also what happened on the long touchdown when Miller got loose in the open field in the first half?
That first one, I'm pretty sure that was a draw, and we didn't have any middle pressure there, so he was able to just run through free. And then in the second half, or after that happened, we had two components that would close down those gaps so he couldn't escape through the middle there.
We'll go ahead. One or two more questions for our student athletes. Go ahead over on the right, front row.
Victor Flores, 406 Empty Sports again. Tommy, you finished with program record for single-season touchdowns and in completion percentage, and you finished the game this season on the field. Just how gratifying was that to have all those accomplishments?
Yeah, I mean, in individual accomplishments, I've never really loved. I think it's always been about the team and what they've done schematically from our coaching staff, how they set me up in good positions. I'm a kid from Butte, Montana. We don't have quarterback coaches, so you go out there and play football, and they trusted me, and they gave me three, for the 4 seasons to play, and it was it's an honor to represent this program, honor to represent those coaches and play for the guys in this program. I guess leave it at that.
Okay, Tommy and Paul, thank you so very much for joining us here this evening, and we'll go ahead and let you guys go back to the locker room.
Thank you, guys.
Are you paying too much in taxes? Elevated Tax and Accounting is a firm that specializes in tax planning and strategy to minimize your tax bill. Elevated Tax consult with you on tax strategy throughout the year, so no more waiting until the end of the year and hoping for the best. As a business owner, you know your sole focus should be spent working on your business, not in it. Outsourcing gives you the time to concentrate on the core reasons you started your company, to create and innovate a top-tier product and generate profits. Elevated Tax and Accounting, elevating you and your business with a modern professional touch.
And we'll go ahead now and open it up for questions for Coach. Once again, name and affiliation. We'll start right over here. Left-hand side, second row.
Colter Nuanez, Skyline Sports. Brent, could you talk about the way that Tommy sort of ignited you in the third quarter and how much that momentum sort of helped you guys close the gap?
Yeah, coming in down 18 and a half, certainly wasn't where we wanted to be, but we knew we were still, a drive and a stop away from being right back in it. And, how he played in that second half, and we mixed it up a little bit more. And, I think he just did what he always has done, is he's made plays. And, the result of this game isn't going to change. I think the fact that that's one of the all-time greats in our program. Not only a player, but just a student athlete, leader, everything. So you're really proud of what he's become, and I mean, just the way he speaks, you can get a sense for what his priorities are and were. And unfortunately, we came up short because I know winning this championship was the most important thing to him, and it didn't happen. And it wasn't because he didn't fight and scratch and do all kinds of things on that field tonight.
We'll go ahead over on the right-hand side, or we'll go right here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brent. Greg Rockach from MTN Sports. Wanted to ask about, I think it was on their last scoring drive, the third down conversion. You guys are down 3, and if you can, hold them to 3 points there, you have a chance to go down and take the lead potentially. So that conversion and how crucial it was.
Well, there's a few of them. A few of those plays that they made. Cam Miller was 19 of 22, so that means they only had 3 incompletions. And there was a bunch of big third down plays in that. That would have went to, I don't know if that was to Nelson. I think the one you're talking about. They got 7 on a 3rd and 6, and I know the slot fade, the end. The third quarter was a third down too. That was a huge play, and I thought Simeon was in a pretty good spot, and it just they made a better play, and that's probably whether they coached way better, whether they played way better. I don't know that it was way better, but they coached and played better than us today in those critical situations, those third downs. That's where it shows up the most.
We'll keep it over on the right-hand side.
Jeff Kopak with a form. Brent, what kind of pressure did Cam put on you today?
Well, we didn't put a lot of pressure on him. I think that's where that's my first thought. So then the credit goes to, I suppose, their scheme, their front. He threw the ball where he wanted to, generally speaking, without much duress. I think. The long touchdown run, our front parted like the Red Sea. I don't know that it was a draw. I think he just saw that opening, and we were in kind of a man underneath coverage, and he was gone. So knew that we had to put some pressure on him, and I don't think we did that. Ultimately, for him to rush for 121 yards, that was not going to be a good number for us to rush for those kind of yards, because he was he was going to make the plays probably in the passing game to some degree that he did, and a lot of credit goes to him. I know I'm really impressed with what he's become. I know we saw him as a young player out here in the 21 championship, and he's become an excellent quarterback.
We'll go ahead over on the right-hand side.
Victor Flores, 406 MT Sports. The 3 points in the first half, what kind of you think were the biggest explanations for the slow start?
Well, I look at and it's not our tailback's fault, but they carried 22 times, and they're 3.5 and 2.4. And so that part really never changed. They each had a long of 6. We really didn't get our tailback running game going. We moved the ball. We got a couple first downs. I think we had a 17-play drive that results in 3 points. I think just our inability to finish that drive in particular, came down to it's just a couple yards here and there. I know Rohan had a play down the sideline that it should have been an 8 or 9 yard gain, and it was a 6-yard gain, and we followed up with a 2-yard gain, and it's just things like that. I mean, you have to be able to make all the plays and all the yards that were there, and we didn't, and that's credit to them. I thought they tackled well. I think they kept the ball in front of them for the most part, and that's what we expected. We didn't have an opportunity, maybe enough space to make them miss a whole lot, and the result is we go in. I certainly took a chance going for that 4th down. we were 4th and 5, I think, and just felt like we needed to do something to create a jolt, and we didn't get that 4th down, and they turn around and score right before the half. That sequence going from 14 to 3, and if we punt and pin them down, maybe it's harder for them to get that last score before the half, but I just felt like we needed something to jolt us. And Tommy was, if nothing else, Tommy was making some plays with his feet, and it didn't happen there. So I think it's a combination. They played well, and we probably just weren't good enough in that that first half.
Okay, we have time for one more. We're going to come here on the left-hand side. Go ahead.
Colter Nuanez, Skyline Sports. How do you sort of turn the page on this now? I know you're going to let it set in, but how do you sort of move forward as a program after this sort of benchmark loss?
Well, we're back at school a week from tomorrow, and it's really that simple. The 25 team has begun, and you move on from a really good senior group, a great senior group, but I do think the foundation in our program has more than been laid. I think we got a lot of young players that, took steps this year. We'll have to take bigger steps, so I guess in some regard, no different than losing in December last year and, picking ourselves off the mat, getting a new group of leaders to emerge, and going back to work. It's our expectation for this program is to win this game, and that's hard to do. It's really hard to do. It's really hard to get here first and foremost. The fact that we've gotten here 2 out of the 4 years, I think speaks to where our program's at, I suppose. And, we need to learn another lesson, I guess. I don't know why, but we did. So here we go, on to the next year.
Coach, thank you very much for all the time you've given us this week.
Absolutely.
Yep. So we just got to close the door. All right, everybody. The national champions are here. North Dakota State, a couple superlatives. This is their 10th national title. All of those have been won right here in Frisco. All-time record in the FCS tournament, 52-5. And they have the most victories in tournament action at 52. What a terrific year for them. Joining us is their head coach, Tim Polasek. Also our most outstanding player, Cam Miller. Also Bryce Lance and Logan Kopp will be joining us here in a moment. So what we'll do, Coach, opening comments, then we'll have some questions once again for our student athletes. Then we'll release them to go celebrate. We'll talk to Coach for a few minutes. Coach, the floor is yours. Congratulations.
A pretty incredible journey started with a group of seniors that decided after a team meeting to get together and just, what are we going to do? And they chose to stay, and once again, there's a lot of evidence with our program. We're running a football program, but those that stay will be champions. I'm so grateful to these guys, the players, this season in particular. Coaches get a lot of credit. Our staff, our support staff did a wonderful job, but in today's day and age, it would be so easy for these guys. I'm not sure if any other program would have what we've got. I'm so honored to be the head football coach and just to be part of it. Cam Miller is the best quarterback on the football field today. There was no doubt about it. Tommy's a good football player. There's no question about that either. But all year long, these guys have answered the bell with complimentary football. And tonight was just another case of us handling adversity, handling some ups and downs, but that's what we're built for. With that, we'll open up for questions.
Absolutely. So once again, student athletes, first, name and affiliation. We've got Logan Kopp, we've got Bryce Lance, and we got Cam Miller. So open it up. We'll start right here on the right, second row.
Yeah, Cam, Greg Rockach from Montana Sports. Wanted to ask about the 64-yard touchdown run. Was it a planned draw play, or did you just see it open up and take off?
It was a draw play with the option to pass as well. We were blocking it as a draw, and we had quick game off of it, and they played the perfect front and the perfect coverage to it for us, and it just parted, and it's one of the longest runs I've had. It felt awesome.
Yeah, were you surprised at how much room you had?
Yeah, it didn't feel real, honestly. Usually when we run draws, you got to make a few guys miss, and there was nobody there. They blocked it up perfectly, and it was awesome.
Okay, we'll come over here on the left-hand side. Go ahead, second row.
Yeah, Cam. Jacob Quinn, FCS Nation Radio. I asked Gray Zabel this question at Media Day, and he said about going separate ways after this game. So how does it feel to go separate ways with the senior class as national champions?
These guys mean the world to me. They're a big part of the reason why I stayed at this program. And they believed in me when nobody else did. And when things were bad, they were the first people to pick me up. And I'm so damn honored to be a part of this program and to be one of their friends and teammates.
We will go right back here on the left-hand side, second row.
Mike McFeely from the Forum. Cam, you kind of just did, but can you put into words what this journey this year has meant, and was there some validation tonight for some other things that happened this weekend?
Today was a team effort. Guys just did their job. We executed. We had a great game plan. The coaches did a tremendous job of putting us in great situations to be successful. But I've always felt like I've been the underdog ever since I was a little kid. I was overlooked. I was overlooked out of high school, overlooked when I was young this year. And it's never been about proving people wrong. It's about proving myself right, and that I am the quarterback that people say that I am and the quarterback that I think that I am.
We'll go ahead over on the right-hand side, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Kopak. Bryce, any similarities? You saw your brother in 2019. Any similarities of what he did to what Cam did today?
Man, I think Cam is one of one for sure. I mean, there's not – obviously, he didn't win that award that our whole team knows he should have, and I think he showed that today. But I really don't think you can really compare the two because, it's different journeys, but Cam is that guy.
Okay, we'll come over here on the left. Go ahead.
Colter Nuanez, Skyline Sports. Bryce, can you talk about the long third down where you got all the way down by the goal line and just how big that play was? I think they'd cut it to 3, and you guys got the momentum back and then scored to go back up double digits.
Yeah, I had dropped one earlier, so I just knew I had to go make a play. And for Cam to trust me with that throw meant a lot. So I just knew ball was in the air and I had to go get it.
We'll go back row, right-hand side.
Blake Ingebretson, Bison Report. Bryce, you finished top 3 in single-season NDSU history in receptions and receiving yards. Can you just go through the season that you had, and then along with that, the trust you had, and the guy sitting right to your left?
Yeah, I think a lot of times Coach Polasek, will emphasize that's a player's operation, it's a player's program, but it really does start at the top with him. And, all our coordinators and coaches as well. But just the faith they had in me, the belief they had in me, starting from spring ball. I mean, a couple days after spring ball practice, they were coming up to me. Coach Paul came up to me and said I was going to be all conference this year. So that meant the world to me, and honestly, just kept me going.
We'll go over on the right-hand side. We got time for a couple more. Go ahead.
Victor Flores, 406 MT Sports. Logan, why did you think you guys' defense had so much success in the first half?
Yeah, before I answer that, I must say that the reason I'm sitting in this chair right now is because of the God that I serve in His grace, and His Son Jesus, who died for me, who saved a wretched sinner like me. I'm nothing without Jesus, and He saved me, not because of what I did, but what He did. 2,000 years ago on a Roman cross. And that's why I'm sitting up here, and that's a greater joy in my life than any accolade that we'll ever get. But yeah, we dove into the game plan early on, right when we got back from Christmas break, and Coach Olson and the coaches did a great job of coming up with a scheme that's able to attack and defend all of the essentially a triple option offense that they have, whether they hand it to one of their 1,000-yard rushers, whether Tommy keeps it to run or he keeps it to throw to his talented receivers. Just trusting the guys around me, doing my 1/11th if I'm responsible for the quarterback dive, or if I'm responsible for being coverage, trusting that if I do my job, that the other 10 guys are going to do their job. And we were just playing that way with great communication, great fundamentals, trusting our teammates in that first half, able to get them out of rhythm and make them kind of one-dimensional in the first half. That's what led to a lot of success.
Okay, we have time for one more. Go ahead.
Logan, what does it mean for this program to get back on top? I know you guys didn't go very far away, but you've been a couple of years, and so what does it mean to get back on top and be the champions?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, the standard here has been the same for 15 years now, and it's a national championship. It's to get up on that stage in Frisco. In the past 2 years, we have fallen short, and, man, we've worked our butts off 365 days, 24 hours a day to get back up here. The adversity we faced, the extra hours we've put in on the field after practice, up in the offices, in the film room, man, it really does pay off. And we owe it to the coaches for their just hours that they've put in, sacrificing time with their wives, with their families, to work on game planning. Man, we owe it to them and to the older guys leading us, like this guy right here. It's unbelievable. And the group of guys in this locker room, the relationship that we've formed is second to none. And I love these guys so much.
We're going to go ahead and release our student athletes. Gentlemen, congratulations on another national championship. Go celebrate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big Sky Breakdown, proudly presented by the Bobcat Collective at Montana State. The Bobcat Collective is the NIL collective that serves Montana State University student athletes. The collective has partnered with Montana State to connect fans, alumni, businesses, and local nonprofits with Montana State student athletes. Opportunities through the collective allow student athletes to earn compensation while serving the greater Montana State University community. Sign up now for memberships and enjoy automatic entry into raffles for free tickets while supporting the bright minds at Montana State. They have multiple different membership tiers, and you can also be a one-time supporter, and you can also business partner or corporate supporter. Visit bobcatcollective.com for more.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
Okay, let's open it up for questions, and we'll start off right here on the left-hand side. Go ahead.
Tim Coulter, Nuanez, Skyline Sports. I know you talked about wanting these guys to relish in every moment, not think ahead all year long. So to get this one done and get back on top, what were the keys to it, and how does it feel?
Well, I think them embracing the message about me sharing past experiences that I learned here from Coach Bowl and Chris Kleiman specifically, and then all those senior leaders. Like it just the way we've gotten this done is just remaining humble and hungry. And you have to put that chip back on your shoulder. Any team in the past that has done stuff, really is not relevant to how ours season's going to go. And I think them embracing that, really diving into the nuance of 3 core values and getting to work in the weight room. But, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. This all started with a group of seniors that decided to stay. We're doing some wonderful things to try to get as many kids as much as possible. But they made a collective effort to say we need to stay here. And, again, it's just evidence that at North Dakota State, those who stay will be champions.
Right-hand side.
Yeah, Coach,
Greg Rockach, MTN Sports. You guys made a lot of third down conversions tonight, but the biggest one probably with less than 4 minutes left, which allowed you to go back ahead by 10 points. So just talk about that moment in the game and that one play.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something to talk about here. If you look at the stats, this thing is just even Steven except for the penalty yards. So we overcame some things. It just some unbelievable individual efforts. You know, I'm thinking about Raja. No one's going to talk about Raja's catch on third down. Unbelievable, you know, play. But what a clean, well-played football game. Your hat's got to go off to Montana State and the way they played. I don't know exactly right now what the difference was except for for Bison Pride.
We'll go ahead right here in the second row, left-hand side.
Tom Stuber with Skyline Sports. Coach, can you just talk about, you know, the start of the second half when Montana State made a run at you guys, and then I think they had one opportunity there late in the game to, and they had the ball with a chance to take the lead, and what you guys did to stop them.
Yeah, you know, we came out, we were productive in a drive, but we didn't score, and then they just hit us with their best stuff. Some really good triple option stuff, some really tough play action stuff off of their best runs. I thought they did a nice job of setting some things up. It's a really well-coached outfit with weapons, you know, tight ends, receivers, running backs, and then the quarterback kid's just really good. I thought they started the third period there better than we did, obviously. I think that we finished the second half or the first half much better, and that was a big deal. Getting those points on the board before half was the difference, I guess you could say that.
Right-hand side, Jeff.
Yeah, Tim, did you just say put the ball in number 7's hands and go do it?
Yeah, even late there, we want to be tailback oriented and not just about one guy and share the ball, but I really felt good about his ball security, and I really felt good. Even there late, we didn't get a first down, but I thought we would get a +1 opportunity, and he was so solid tonight. I mean, if you look at the passing yards, 19 of 22, well over 300 total yards. There's no reason not to put it in his hands.
And you did go for it with fourth and really short. What went into that decision? You're up 3.
Yeah, we were up. Well, just that. I kind of felt like, it's hard to get up here after you win a national title and then complain about things that you want to be better. But we gave up too many big plays. But overall, if you look at their tailback run game, we were doing a really good job at controlling that. I thought they were having to go the long, hard way for the most part. I still liked, when I look up at the clock, Jeff, I think you're talking about the 9-minute mark. And actually what I was thinking is if we punt and they happen to score, perfect. Let's put it in Cam's hands. He'll win with the ball in our hands last. That thought crossed my mind.
We'll keep it on the right-hand side, Coach, front row.
Coach Victor Flores, 406 MT Sports. That first half being 21-3, did you feel like you guys were playing looser? Was there anything intangible like that gave you guys that big of an advantage early?
I thought there's some people in here that were in our pregame. I thought our pregame was good today. I thought the message was well received. And I went in there, before the game in the locker room and just, reminded them how well prepared they were, how tested they were, how battle tested they were. And I think that led to just some guys playing really free. In a national championship type game, you're not going to just throttle somebody. We knew they would come back. They came back against New Mexico in, I think, one of their first 2 games or whatever it was. They've got a heart of a champion as well, and we were just a little better.
Go ahead, Tom.
Tim Damizo, WDAY. You told me Bryce Lance was going to be the guy this year. What was the confidence? What did you see when you got to Fargo to say that this guy could be a difference maker for us?
Yeah, I didn't tell you guys in spring, but
we got time for one more.
Bryce alluded to it. I think I grabbed him on practice 3 and I said, you've got all league type skills here. Let's start, getting north and south a little faster after the catch. Let's start playing this game with some confidence. And for some young people, it's just a matter of somebody believing in them. I just, flashed to Coach Bull and believing in me. But he's long, big, fast. He catches it. That's about it. I'm not some genius. He kind of stood out. I believed in Raj and Braylon right away because of their leadership ability. Didn't know much about Mackay and Chris and Terhart. And Bryce was in that group. And I just thought he was in the mix to be one of the top 2 or 3 guys. And then shortly thereafter, I grabbed Cam actually too. And I wonder if Cam would share this with you guys, but I said, Cam, you need to start thinking about number 5 in a hurry here because I believe in him. And he's capitalized on all his opportunities. It's really cool to see when young guys and he's not even scratching the surface of his potential, but I think he maximized this year.
Okay, we got time for 2 more. We're going to go right up here up front, and then we'll go back here to finish up.
Parker Cotton with the Bozeman Daily Chronicle. Coach, what do you make of your offensive line's performance against Montana State's defensive line and how that allows you, the success on the ground that you have and, Cam Miller to go 19 of 22?
Yeah, I thought early on they did it. Montana State did a good job on early down and distance. We were getting 3 when we need 5. We were getting 4 when we need 6. Early on it was pretty good. Then all of a sudden I thought we were starting to – I don't want to say we were running away from number 26, but he plays his role so well that some of the nub side, the short side runs, he was tackling it. Our offensive line, has been really good in pass protection all year. We've been challenged. Our conference, Missouri Valley Football Conference, you have to be consistent. You get challenged week in and week out. I thought our guys played well tonight. I really did.
And we'll finish up right over here on the left.
Are you in any way surprised by this season? I know that you're the coach of North Dakota State and the standards to win a national championship, but the season started with some questions at some positions, and it's your first year, and there's some injuries and all kinds of just things happening. Is there any surprise, or is this just what NDSU does?
No, I think it's a combination of both. It's a little bit of what NDSU does, but then you hit a roadblock. Some players aren't recovering from injury. Brozio's out. Dylan Hendricks goes down. Sam Young's having his best season. He goes down. You start to, okay, these pieces are going to have to come along. And then, I just would go to the assistant coaches and our leadership to continue to stay gritty, improvement-oriented. I'm not surprised, and that's probably why I comment on things throughout the year so much. The standard's the standard, and the expectation's the expectation, and we just did a great job of pushing through it. And then with Cam's continued improvement, I thought we had a shot. I really did. He was playing at a really high clip. I knew we could win a shootout, and I knew we could win an ugly game, and those things are really important, and we learned that in this journey along the way.
Outstanding, Coach. Thank you so much for the time this week, and congratulations on another national championship.
Yeah, thank you to the local media again. It's been a fun year, and I appreciate the way you guys cover us. I really do. Thank you.